Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm back. I'm back again for episode number 50. Halfway to 100. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the show, folks. Remember me? My name is Dave. I have gray hair. I've got a gray beard. I wear glasses a lot like the guy in the artwork for the podcast, but I think he's just a tad better looking. So, what's going to happen today? I think today I'm going to end 1971. It's done, it's over with. No, I'm just kidding. It's not gone, folks. It's just in the past. So, I was looking up and I was thinking about, I was looking up news reporters and who was big in that day. And there were the Cronkites, there were the Huntley Brinkley reports. The evening news was a big thing then. Really was. It was a cool thing. But, and everybody watched. But let's think about life for a while and what was going on in your world in 1971, especially, just before summer. And we're all getting people my age, we were all getting out of school soon, and our thoughts were of summer. And what's going to happen to us next? Well, what does happen to us next? For me, I went to high school next. For me, it was meeting some people that I'd never met before. That's called meeting new people. But I got to meet, my new friends that year. And 71, let's get in. Let's be honest. You're going into high school. For me, I was going into high school that year. And what happens in high school? You get to meet brand new people. You get new teachers. You get a different kind of an atmosphere. High school is so different because now you're dealing with people who are turning 15, 14, 15, 16 years old, all the way up to 18, 19 years old, depending upon when their birthdays are. You know how that works. But so you're dealing with kids who are no longer really kids, and they're becoming adults, young adults. So there's this mixture between the two, this dichotomy that says, hey, I can't be too mean to these new kids, but I've also got to have fun, right? And don't get me wrong, the seniors had their fun, and so did the sophomores and the juniors and the freshmen. We all had our fun, but girls were different in high school. It's like the girl you knew in junior high school, the day you're done with junior high school, you graduated from junior high school. You turn around, and the day she goes to high school, all of a sudden she's more mature. She's prettier. She has a better figure. Or vice versa for the girl. The guy becomes a little taller, becomes a little more muscular, doesn't become any smarter. Face it, guys. Girls got us beat in the intelligence game for the most part. For the most part, if you're a smart person, congratulations if you're a guy. But girls understood this relationship game a whole lot better than we did back then. And it took me until, oh God, way after number one and I divorced for me to really understood this. That's good English, isn't it, Dave? Good grammar. Yeah. You can tell this is not rehearsed and this is not written down. There's no monologue here, folks. I'm not reading off a script at all. This is all free flowing, which is maybe what gets me in trouble some days. But the things that you learned about girls, before when you were in junior high school, if there was a girl sitting in front of you and she was wearing a bra, you had to snap it. Well, in high school, you don't snap girls' bras. No, 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 no. That don't work. The bathrooms in high school where people hung out to meet and talk and chat real quickly, not just to go to the bathroom. You had a little bit more freedom as a high school person. You were able to be a person who had their own thoughts and their own decision making processes now. The moment you go to high school, the adults start looking at you differently, don't you think? I mean, didn't your parents or your friends' parents all of a sudden have a better attitude towards you, a better relationship with you, to where all of a sudden the conversations weren't about childish things, they were about adult things? You know, hey, Dave, what do you want for dinner tonight? Hey, Dave, this happened today. What did you think about that? And what happened in school today, Dave, is a great question then. Uh, for me, I was not a great student. And I've paid the price for that over the years. I never learned the best way to learn. And I don't blame anybody for this but myself. I just didn't dedicate myself like everybody else did. I don't know why. Call it lazy, call it stupid, call it whatever you want to call it, but that was what happened. I can't I can't change what has happened in the past. So, I'm here to tell you, if I have wronged you in the past, made you mad in the past, I'm sorry. Wholeheartedly sorry. Wholeheartedly sorry. I really am. But I can't change that. I can't go back and change things. It can't be done. I'm not going to try. I can apologize, but I'm moving on. Life is done. And if you were a friend of mine and I upset you, well, I'm sorry. And if you were a friend of mine and we kind of lost touch, I'm sorry there too. But life moves on. We all change. So that's what was going on there, and moving on to high school. And the anticipation, I mean, my friends and I, we talked about getting ready for high school. And we all changed. We all grew up a year really quickly, it seemed like. We all became a little more adult, a little more knowing of things of the world. It seemed like it just automatically happened. We were talking about women and girls. We were talking about relationships. What would we like and what would be great? We were talking about the future. I'm going to talk about this again probably next week, but kids today have to make decisions a whole lot quicker than we ever did. What school do they want to go to? What career do they want? They've got to start thinking about that in what we now call middle school, or what we called junior high school. Where for me, I didn't start thinking about that till I was like a junior or a senior. What do you want to do? My guidance counselor, who was both my brothers' guidance counselor. I'm sure after he met me, but his first thought was, boy, the wheel went off the wagon with Dave. Paul and Tim had basic ideas of what they wanted to do with their lives. And Dave walked in there and he says, hey, Dave, what do you want to do with your life? What do you think you want to be? Duh, I don't know. I didn't, because I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about what do I want to do or what do I want to be. Not when you're 14 years old. You're not thinking about, well, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? But today's kids do. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like I said, we'll talk more about that soon, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just goofed off and had fun, but I was a more mature fun. So let's get to the portion of our day here, because we're running late on time. And the thing I wanted to talk about 1971 was, who were the newscasters of the day? Who did you trust to give you the news of what was going on in the world? Back in 71, the major newscasters broadcasters or correspondents or news anchors, whatever you wanted to call them, there weren't as many as there are now. But the one that I remember most, and he was on CBS, his name was Walter Cronkite. He was everybody remembers. He was instrumental in the reporting of NASA and the moon missions. And just, he was down to earth, wasn't one sided, he was two sided. He gave you both sides. He was not prejudiced or opinionated enough to give you just his side. He gave you what you wanted to hear, which was the news. The other anchors were like Tom Brokaw, and Chet Huntley. So we had Chet Huntley and David Brinkley for the Huntley-Brinkley report. We had John Chancellor. John Chancellor was around for quite a while. Tom Brokaw, like I said, he came in. Brian Williams came in 2000. And now the big ones are like Lester Holt. But you had other ones out there. The local people who I was always amazed at, because in Port Huron, where I grew up, we got the Detroit channels. And the big one for me, because he's the only one I really remember, was a guy named Bill Bonds. And he's who we watched the news. I mean, he's who we were watching. That's just what it is. We watched Bill Bonds. I was going to tell you about the cost of cigarettes. And I know cigarettes are a bad thing, but I used to smoke. Back in 71, they were between 25 and 30 cents a pack for a pack of cigarettes. They didn't go up to 45 cents until 77. I didn't start smoking until I was, I believe, between my junior and senior year of high school. And I told my parents that I was doing it. My dad smoked. My mother did not. And I told them about it. And because one day Mom asked, "Hey, were you smoking?" Because she could smell it on my breath. I didn't think to brush my teeth after a cigarette before I went into in for dinner. Just wasn't smart enough to. Yeah, Mom, I am. Okay. Now, if you're going to smoke, you're going to smoke in the house. Okay. That was really weird. The very first time I sat there with my father and my mother, Mom and Dad, and had a cigarette in the house was a weird day, folks. Oh, I tell you, because there was no need for me to lie to my mom and dad. There really never was. If something bad happened, I told them. It didn't make sense to me to lie about something like that. So, wow. Think about, set with that one for a while and think about if you and your parents had that kind of a relationship. And if you did, that's great. And if you didn't, that's absolutely fine too. But anyways, folks, that's what I've got for today. We're a little long. So this is Gray Hair Dave saying, don't forget to go to my podcast. Yeah, don't forget to go to my podcast that you're listening to. Go to my website, 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. That's the number 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. Click on that little microphone, leave me a message. Click on the About Me page, read about me a little bit. Click on that Contact Me page, leave me a message. I don't mind. Remember, I'm not here to sell your email address. It's not what I do. I'm not that kind of guy. So check out the merchandise on the photos page. I've got T-shirts, I've got keychains, I've got stickers. The stickers are kind of cool, but the keychains are slick. And I tell you what, those T-shirts are comfortable. I get them from a company called Sticker Mule. You should look up stickermule.com. I've got an affiliate link, and I'm going to put that in the show notes. If you ever got a T-shirt you want to order for anything, you can get anything you want printed on a T-shirt. Think about Sticker Mule. They're quick, and the fabric is so soft. Even when you get it the first time, how every once in a while you get a T-shirt, you buy it at a store or you get it in a package and it's kind of, yeah. And the more you wash this, the more comfortable these things get. So anyways, folks, that's it for today. I'm really, really long. I apologize for that. But hey, I just couldn't stop talking. I get talking to my friends like you, and I just can't stop. So don't forget, tell all your friends about Gray Hair Dave. 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. It usually lasts 10. Today it's going to last almost 15. But he's cool. He's fun to talk with. He's fun to listen to. If your friends don't know what a podcast is or don't know how to do it, how to use it, show them for me, will you please? And with that note, folks, I'm going to say bye-bye and have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.